What's up, everybody? This is Dylan. That's Justin. ManToManFootball here. Avid Longhorn fan, avid Cowboy fan, both avid football fans. Let's get it. What is up, YouTube? Super Bowl preview today. We are just going to preview today. Next week, we are making the pick'em. Justin, man, let's real quick. Let's just acknowledge some of the storylines here, man. Young GOAT, old GOAT. Can we just take a second, man? In Tom Brady, in the ultimate team sport, you know, the sport where it's much more than just the individual. He swaps teams, pulls a LeBron James, and takes the Bucs to the Super Bowl, man. Regardless of win or lose, I mean that's impressive on its own.
Yeah, I do got to give you a little credit here, buddy, because you did say Tampa was gonna go to the Super Bowl, and you might have been, Tom Brady homering a little bit at the beginning of the season,
Oh,
but
super.
but they are there, and yeah, young Buck versus old Buck. I'm interested to see how this goes.
It was 100%, faith in Tom Brady and faith in belief that, the Bucs were eventually going to figure things out on offense because it was. I mean, at times this season they looked awful,
Yeah,
downright awful. They got destroyed by the Saints in a primetime game and everything. And it was 100% just faith in Tom and faith in his process and how much he brings to the table. And man, here we go again, another Tom Brady Super Bowl.
yeah, man. I would like to say I'm sure you've seen all the memes and stuff on Reddit and all that, but there are a couple great ones talking about how Tom Brady has a higher percentage than like Steph Curry shooting threes, which is wild.
Oh my God.
He has he has he has he has a higher percentage of going to the Super Bowl. He has a higher percentage to go to the Super Bowl than Steph Curry does having shooting threes. But
That's
that's
actually that's actually nuts, dude. I hadn't heard that.
yeah.
That's
So
crazy.
maybe we can pull that up on the screen right now and show you all that. But anyways, yeah, that's pretty wild. So Tom Brady
Yeah.
back to back Super Bowl.
And I think it was in the seasons where Tom Brady is healthy, I think it was like over 50% that he ends up making it to the Super Bowl,
Yep.
which I mean that alone, dude, like like that's nuts. Like
Yeah.
the man is too good.
Another random thing is Tom Brady has went to the Super Bowl every season. He's lost the season opener.
No way. Okay.
Yes. So pretty interesting
Right on.
stuff. But
Right on.
so
How do
Dylan,
you feel about the whole kind of if Mahomes wins this game, does he kind of take over as the GOAT? If Tom Brady wins this game, does he kind of cement himself as the GOAT? Are they both the GOAT, Justin? I mean,
I
they're both phenomenal.
I think Tom is the goat, no doubt. Pat Mahomes has, I think, five or six more Super Bowls to go to become the goat. He's got a long way to go. We get it. The Chiefs look unstoppable, but I think it's way too early to be calling him
Yeah.
the goat.
Yeah.
He's the young buck right now. He's a
There
little
you go.
baby goat. He's a baby goat right now. So
They do look unstoppable, but being able to do it for more than 2 or 3 years, I mean, that's going to be the real
yep,
trick, and that's what will make him the GOAT if he can put it together for 10 years or so. I
absolutely.
100% agree with that.
And then he's got to go from AFC to NFC and then
There
win
you
the Super
go.
Bowl.
There you go.
You got to do it.
Yeah, he's
That's
got to
it.
flip teams at some
Yep.
point. Yeah,
That
100%. Yeah.
to be the goat, you got to beat the goat. So
No, that's crazy. He's going to be a chief for life, you would think, but
yeah,
I mean, I guess you could have said the same about Tom Brady, man. So we'll see. Obviously, it's going to
absolutely.
be fun watching Mahomes for a lot of years, a lot of
Yeah.
years. So man, let's go ahead and jump into this. I got a couple X factor impact players, if you will. The first one I'm gonna throw up, man, the Bucks linebacker Devin White. This playoff has been balling. I think he's got a turnover in every game in the playoffs so far. Tackles, coverage, speed. He's big. He hits everybody. One of the things that has been consistent so far in the playoffs is nobody can cover Travis Kelsey.
Yeah.
Nobody can cover Tyreek Hill either. But um, I think if you need to find a way to stop the Chiefs, you have to find a way to take one of those guys away. And I think
Absolutely.
Devin White in the start of the season, he was kind of trying to promote himself as one of the best cover linebackers in the league and covering running backs out of the backfield. And he's done a great job this season and especially in the playoffs. I'm really curious to see how they use Devin White and potentially kind of just lock up Travis Kelsey and run with him all game. Real quick, guys, if you are enjoying the conversation, throw us a like, throw us a subscribe. Appreciate y'all checking out the video. All right, we're gonna throw y'all right back in.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how Devin White will match up with Travis Kelsey, simply for the fact of his Travis Kelsey is just a he's a different human being. He is a gigantic. He can run. He can move.
Yeah,
and he kind of just out physicals everybody that covers with him. And he's a phenomenal route runner. I don't know if a lot of his routes are designed, but they're basically they talk about it in the last game. Travis Kelsey and Tyreek Hill are zone beaters. So if you're running man, you would hope Devin White can slow down Kelsey, but even when he's in man, most people just look stupid. I mean, that's the simple way to
Yeah,
put it.
not
So
true. One of the things Tony Romo was talking about was kind of having those three down linemen at the front, and then just put your linebacker on Travis Kelsey, and whatever you play behind that, do whatever you got to do. Double cover Tyreek Hill too. I mean, whatever it is. But you got to kind of find a way to take away one of those guys.
yeah.
And I think Devin White could be, if we're talking about, what are some of the ways the Bucks get an advantage or potentially win the game. I think if Devin White can take away Travis Kelsey, I think that's huge for the Bucks.
Yeah, one thing I think that more people are worried about Tyreek Hill than they are about Kelsey, and that's why you see a lot of
Yeah,
Kelsey get those underneath throws and
yeah,
10, 15. They're willing to give those up more than they are the big play to Tyreek,
sure.
which is understandable. So I'm interested to see. I don't even think you have to stop Kelsey. I think you stop Hill and slow down Kelsey. Make a couple plays, bat the ball down. If you can just slow down Kelsey, I think it'll really, really hurt Mahomes. And that kind of brings me into what I think is the X factor going into this game. I believe Vita Vea and Ndamukong have to move the pocket.
Mm,
They are a little. I think Vita Vea is a little banged up. He is questionable, but I'm sure with the extra week off, they will be just fine. You're playing in the Super Bowl. I'm sure he'll play. I think Vita Vea, Ndamukong against this banged up Kansas City Chiefs O line is 100% my X factor. If they can put pressure, yes, I know Mahomes can extend, but if they can put pressure on Mahomes consistently and just make him stress the whole game, it'll be very, very tough for the Chiefs to kind of stay in this and keep that offense, chunking people. Because if they're just getting pressure every down, it's going to be brutal. So
sure.
I'm interested to see how if they try to play like a contain and get those big boys to push up the middle. But I think that's my biggest X factor.
I think that's a very interesting matchup. And the Tampa Bay Bucks really got after Aaron Rodgers, and frustrated him a lot, got him on the ground a lot. Really curious to see how the Chiefs kind of approach that, knowing they have some offensive line stuff. Or are we going to see much more, motions or wide receiver screens, or kind of trying to play the game on the outside, not let Mahomes sit in the pocket for too long. Very curious to see how that kind of plays out.
Yeah, expect to see at least two jet sweeps next week. That's my thing.
I think that's a safe bet. Yeah,
That's a
for
safe
sure,
bet.
for sure. And then that leads me right into speaking of jet sweeps. My second impact player, I think, is Tyreek Hill. I know we kind of talked about, you got to kind of figure out how to slow down one of them. When these two teams met earlier in the season, Tyreek Hill had 200 receiving yards in the first quarter. Okay, then it almost looked like he slowed down from there, just because then he went at a normal pace for the rest of the three quarters.
Right.
But he absolutely destroyed the Bucks. Was actually really interesting. The Bucks secondary, I thought, played the Packers a lot better than I thought they were going to. Valdez Scantling kind of got deep on one of them. I don't know if maybe the Bucks have kind of figured some things out there, or the pressure's getting home a little better than it was early in the season. But I think if Tyreek Hill has anything like he did in the first game, I mean, this is going to be a tough one for the Bucks.
Yeah, I agree. Like I said, I think this boils down to that front five, the four v five up front usually.
Hmm.
I think that's going to be a big factor going into next week. I do think you have to shut down one guy at least, and I
Yeah.
believe as a if you're thinking like a D coordinator, obviously the big play is more damaging than a underneath route.
Right.
So you
Right.
you have to cap Tyreek Hill. He cannot have 200 yards in the first quarter. That is just it's gonna be this game will be over before
Right.
halftime,
Yeah.
and this will be the least watched Super Bowl because we already know who's gonna win at half. So, um, yeah, I don't know, man. This Bucks team has a rough matchup coming into
Hmm.
this week. but I'm interested to see if Tom Brady will just do what he does. And they have a plethora of receivers over there in Tampa, and someone's got to make a play, right?
Yeah, and it's gonna be tough. Again, the Bucks secondary, there's so many RPOs and little things that they do just to get Tyreek Hill the football. I mean, I honestly don't know like how you take them away because they do so many creative things to get him the ball, in open space anyway.
Yeah.
Um, so I mean, man, what do you do? Do you just like put two people at the line of scrimmage and say hold on for dear life? I mean, I really don't know. They move him all over the field. I mean, how do you take away Tyreek Hill?
If I was the Bucks, I'd be watching the Raiders. I'd be watching the Raiders defense and
Okay,
see what they do. They
okay,
they have been one of the best teams at slowing down the Chiefs. The
that's
Chiefs
true.
really struggled against them this year, and so I give credit to the D coordinator there. Whatever they were doing, they clearly were making Pat Mahomes stress. Yes, they did lose the second game, but I would definitely be watching some film there and trying to take what the Raiders were doing to Mahomes and slowing down that Chiefs offense, because that is literally the key to every game playing the Chiefs. It's slow them down on offense.
Right, right. Got to try to limit them from scoring in whatever way you can. And man, it's gonna be tough because Mahomes is really really good. And 31 Williams, he all of a sudden seems like he's their lead back. I don't know where he's been all season.
Yeah.
He's just kind of been floating around and been balling in the playoffs. And so I mean, they can even run the football too, man. I guess some of the offensive line may play into that if they are as banged up and do struggle up front. But
Yeah. Right now, Eric Fisher is out. He was a big left tackle for them. Right now, I'm looking at their roster, and I don't really see too many injuries, but it doesn't not many big names up there that
I
they
think
like
I
they
think their
used to have.
center and
So
their right tackle are also out, or at least
let's.
injured. Maybe they're not out, but they're
I
at least
think
injured.
I think his name is Austin Redder. I think he got hurt. I think he's still going to play, but
Okay.
we'll see how long that lasts, because I don't think they have a backup center, so they'll have to do the O line shuffle and figure it out. So, but
Yeah.
hey,
Well, they got a couple
it's
weeks.
all
Yeah.
it's all out for the Super Bowl. You give everything. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, Justin. With the offensive line injuries and the Tampa Bay Bucks defense being on fire, there is a part of me that wants to lean Tampa Bay and Tom Brady. Do you think this is kind of similar to last year where we kind of came into it with like we thought the 49ers were the better team? I think we both can agree with that. But Patrick Mahomes was just too much in the fourth quarter, and you're just basically waiting for an offensive explosion from the Chiefs in the playoffs. Do you think this is something where we can kind of come into it looking like, man, the Tampa Bay Bucks, they might have some advantages here, but it's Mahomes and Andy Reid on the other side, and I just don't know how you stop them all game.
yeah, I don't think Bruce Arians makes the same mistakes as the 49ers did. I really think that game came down to coaching. They just, like, for some reason, stopped running the ball, and I don't understand why they did that. But hey, I think that Bruce Arians, if they can get up, if they can get ahead, I think they can maintain to keep this game close. If they fall behind, this Chiefs offense will just kind of take over, which is what they've always done. I don't know which way I'm leading just yet. You got to give me a day or two. I'm really thinking hard about these matchups,
Yeah,
and
yeah, for
maybe
sure.
maybe see who becomes a little bit healthier and see what people are looking like, and then I may make my decision. But stay tuned for that.
Sure, we are going to be making that video next week. That'll be coming out midweek at some point. We're excited for the Super Bowl. Obviously, I mean like I said, man, young goat versus old goat. I mean, this one's gonna be fun to watch. Appreciate y'all checking out the channel, checking out the video. Man to man football here. Y'all stay tuned for more.